Hello everyone, so today we're going to be taking a look at some of my favorite perennial flowers that can bloom multiple times in one season. So these are perennials that you can easily give a deadhead to, or you can cut back in some shape or form and they'll flower again. These aren't those perennials that pretty much just flower once and then they're done. These will keep going and giving you something throughout the summer. Like I said, they require a little bit of TLC to get them going again, but it's so worth it because you get those beautiful blooms and your garden will just look stunning for much longer than maybe some other plants you might be used to. So if you're new here, definitely consider subscribing. We'd love to have you on the channel, and let's jump straight into this. Now, why don't we start things off with one of my all-time favorite plants, Nepeta. This variety is called Nepeta Walker's Low, and with a simple cutback in very sort of early summer, late spring, you can expect to see this come back with some beautiful blooms. Now, Nepeta is one of those plants where it'll flower pretty early, usually from sort of April kind of time, all the way through until the end of May, and it will start to look a bit faded. However, it has a much longer season than that, and you can easily control this by doing something called a Chelsea chop. Now, a Chelsea chop is done around the time of the Chelsea Flower Show here in England. It is done sort of late kind of May, so the last week of May is a good point of reference if you don't want to check those timings out. And you basically just cut it completely down to nothing. It's as simple as that. You cut it down to nothing. That's exactly what I did with this plant you're looking at. And boom, give it another month and a bit, and it'll come back looking better than ever. It'll have a better shape than it did before. The flowers will be a little bit stubbier, but that might actually not be a bad thing, because if I had let this thing keep growing, it would have covered this whole space. So yeah, it'll come back again. And as you can see, it's absolutely beloved by the bees. They are obsessed with Nepeta. In fact, I think it might be their favorite plant in the entire garden. So Nepeta is really one of those absolutely wonderful plants that will just keep on coming back. I mean, I have so much of it here in the garden, and all of them are absolutely filled with bees at all times. And yeah, I mean, it's starting to fade a bit now, but keep in mind we are in early August, so it's been flowering, since maybe June again, so second time. So I've basically been able to keep these plants flowering in some form since April, which is just magical. So yeah, definitely a plant that is worth chopping back, and it'll bloom for those multiple times. Maybe you could even somehow sneak in a third time. I don't know how or why you would do that, but the Chelsea chop method works the best in my opinion. Next, we have the beautiful Salvia Pink Sensation. Now, looking at this plant now, you probably think, well, that thing's not flowering again. But again, this thing flowered really early May, let's say. And what I did is I gave it a really good deadhead. On my channel, I actually have videos of how to deadhead salvia, including this specific one. And yeah, it comes back. You give it a proper good deadhead / cutbacks. This is not the sort of plant that you're kind of deadheading every time you're in the garden. You wait until the first flush of flowers are really looking faded, and then you deadhead it. Now, at this point, it would be silly to deadhead this again. It might come back for a few flowers, but I'd lose that structure. It'd look very just straggly. So this is actually the second flowering that is now just coming to an end. But as you can see, the bees are still absolutely loving this plant. Another one of their all-time favorites in my garden. It's also a very tall salvia, a lot taller than some other varieties. So that might be another benefit that you enjoy. I think the thing gets to about 4 foot, which is crazy. I've never really known many salvias to get that tall. But yeah, it does wonderfully. It flowers profusely. And I feel like the dead seed heads actually look pretty good, to be honest with you. You know, just a little tips of purple at the end that the bees are enjoying. Yeah, it's a really wonderful plant. It'll probably still put up a few more flowers. I mean, some of these flowers on here are actually new, so it's still going. But yeah, salvias in general you can do this with, but I found Pink Sensation to be one of the best responding to a cutback, so that makes it one of my favorites. What plant should we take a look at next? Okay, how about the beautiful Echinacea? Now, this is Echinacea purpurea. We also have Echinacea white swan over here, and the same can be applied to both plants. So let's pick this flower here. It's looking a bit faded, isn't it? A bit dead. We can simply chop this off, and that'll encourage a new one to come off at the side. Now, with Echinacea, it's a bit hard to tell where to actually cut them back, but we can see the new flower heads kind of just in there. Do you see that? Tiny little sprouts. So when you start to see those, and then these are faded, that means it's okay to cut back. If you don't see any of those new heads, then you don't have to cut it back. You can just leave it. But yeah, definitely a good one to cut back. Give a cut back as they start to die, and you can get multiple blooms in one season. I mean, this thing is prolific. I know a lot of people in my comment sections have said they really struggle growing Echinaceas. I'm sorry to hear that. For some reason, they really like my garden. I don't know why, maybe it's the dry soil. But they do really well in here, and they've come back for several years now. And yeah, they just seem to do really good. And so if they are in the right conditions, if they like your garden, which isn't something you can always control, unfortunately, but if they do like your garden, then they will just keep flowering profusely. And the bees seem to like them as well. As you can see, they're really enjoying this plant. So another one that you can cut back periodically and get more out of it, which is really nice. Same applies to Echinacea white swan. You can see the same sort of thing happening there with the little sort of heads just peeking up. Although I will say Echinacea white swan, the flowers on it seem to last a little bit longer than they do on the pink variety. So it's a really good one. I will say when it comes to Echinaceas, and this might just be my bias talking, but the only ones I really trust in terms of hardiness and reliability is white swan. There's a few other white varieties which are pretty decent, but they all look like white swan. And also the pink Echinaceas, typically Magnus or Purpurea. And the reason why I say that is there's so many other Echinaceas out there. There's like orange ones and yellow ones, and they look really pretty, but they're not very hardy at all, actually. So unless you live somewhere where it's really hot and your winters are quite warm, it might not survive, and it might not have that same long-lived durability that a lot of these Echinaceas do. So just a little bit of a warning for you that I tend to find these are the most reliable varieties that I mentioned. Obviously, you might have different experiences, but that's just what I'm going off. Another one which the same principle applies to is Echinops, which I've got paired here. And if we try and find, here we go. So we can see the little heads lying in wait, trying to focus on them there. There we go. Basically, once these have all died off and they've gone sort of brown, it's very easy to tell. You can just cut that stem off to where you see the new growth, and boom, it should flower again. Interestingly, Echinacea was one of those plants, Echinops was one of those plants in my garden last year where it flowered really, really late. So for some reason, the Echinops in my garden last year, even though everything completely died, it brought up new growth from the ground and then made a shorter plant, like in November. So I don't know what that deal was, probably because the November was quite warm, but yeah, this definitely has the capability of flowering multiple times in one season, which makes it a great plant. Again, like with all of these that I've shared today, it is beloved by the bees. So that is another big benefit of having the beautiful Echinops in your garden. I'm always going to accidentally call it Echinacea, I feel like. But yeah, no, it is a truly, truly wonderful one that you can just keep blooming if you'd like to, all the way through until the end pretty much, which is great. Now here's another one which sadly hasn't come back into flower just yet, but we do have our hardy geranium. So this one is called Geranium Dreamland, but this applies to all of your hardy geraniums. They can be cut back in sort of late June, I believe, all the way to the ground, all the way to nothing, and then they will come back with more flowers, which is really lovely. So definitely an example of a plant that will just give you a lot and will keep coming back with more and more if you cut it back and give it the right treatment, which is fantastic because we all love hardy geraniums. In fact, there's another one over here which you can see is just putting up some new heads now. This one is Johnsoni Blue, I think, and yeah, it's another wonderful variety that will keep on flowering, keep on spreading, look even better after being cut back. I mean, for example, if we go up the garden path, here is my Geranium Roseanne, which was flowering profusely. I cut it back in sort of early July, and boom, it came back with another whole set of flowers and a much better ball-like shape, which I really like because Geranium Roseanne does go very straggly. So yeah, really, really pleased that this one decided to come back with a second flush, and most of the hardy geraniums will. So especially if they're given lots of water and given lots of you know, time. Don't do it too late. Don't do it in like late July because they might not come back. So Yeah, definitely another one that's absolutely worth cutting back and getting that second flush of flowers on. So, those are some of my absolute favorite perennials that bloom multiple times in one season. Of course, this isn't an exhaustive list. There are more that you can get this out of as well, but these are definitely some of my favorites. So let me know your thoughts down below. What are some of your favorite perennial flowers that will bloom multiple times in one season? I would love to hear. Definitely consider subscribing if you're new, and I'll catch you soon for more videos.